What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lead in, bitch. I am here with Jamie. I'm reporting live from all the way from Honolulu, Hawaii, honey. It is beautiful here, but I had to get on and talk about this show. Of course, I've never recapped this show before. Of course, you know, Jamie and I and others have done Salt Lake City, so Jamie's back to do Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Joined with Chad and Danny, of course. In coming weeks, you'll see them. But Jamie, welcome back. We wrapped on Salt Lake City, I think, in February, right? And so, of course, you did the whole show with me for the entire season. So I said, let me get my homegirl back.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some Beverly Hills. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you. Thank you for having me back. You know, I love talking about rich white lady problems.
And that's why I said, let me get, well, of course, they said you was Asian, child. So let me get my Asian friend over to talk about the rich white girl.
Moon and Crystal. There we go.
Right. Exactly. And so, you know, we were supposed to get on and do a trailer reaction. It didn't happen. But I want to kind of start out this opening up with like your thoughts on the trailer and what's to come, and we'll kind of go from there into the premiere, which happened yesterday. So what were your thoughts on just the trailer, your reaction to the trailer that actually came out about a month ago?
I think so. Yeah. And I mean, you and me and Danny and Chad, we've been kind of talking.
We've been
about
talking.
All the drama
We have been
that
talking.
We know has been going on because of the tabloids and everything.
Correct.
So I mean, we knew at the end of last season there was drama with Kyle and Garcelle.
Yeah.
There was drama with Garcelle and Lisa. Lisa Vanderpump is still behind the scenes causing shit. So we knew that this season was going to be a mess. But I mean, there was a period of time, I want to say about the 4th or 5th season of Beverly Hills, where it got really like boring. Really contrite, really like not a lot going on. And it seems the last 3 or 4 seasons since they've added Dorit, and they've done a really good job of adding women into the mix that are really pushing the buttons of some of the tenured cast members. And from this trailer, like we've got Garcelle sticking it to Lisa. Crystal already is
beefing with our homegirl Sutton.
The new foe to Sutton. Sutton is the foe of what's her name?
Erika.
So right off the bat, I was like, okay, they're earning their diamonds this year.
I agree, and they got a full cast. Like they got what, 7?
Yeah.
7 diamonds.
I think 7. Yeah,
I'm looking behind your hair, like
6,
7.
Yeah.
And so, you know, after some of the recent housewives like Atlanta and some of the other casts, it seemed like Bravo were kind of cutting down. You know, so it was kind of, you know, I would have loved to see it from brown-skinned girls, but it's good to see that they are not completely cutting out all the cast. You know, Crystal is new, so she got a diamond, and Sutton is, she came back from last season, who we felt like she deserved a diamond last season. She didn't, and so now she's back. And I believe, if I'm not correct, they actually added her with a diamond towards the end. I don't know what happened, but they made it a big deal to let us know that she now has a diamond, you know. So which I was excited about. I know you was. You know, I wasn't a fan of Sutton at first, cause
same. You and I talked about that.
She did. We didn't like her like that. She came for my girl Rihanna, but I think she grew on many of us. You know, she's actually quite interesting, and yeah, I like her. So yeah,
it's her mouth. It's her mouth. She's from the South.
So
all of us who are from the South know that.
I was gonna say that
shade.
Definitely.
We know that talking mess, and then it's when other people get upset. It's kind of like, I don't understand why you're upset. Yeah. I'm just talking out, you know, talking out the side of my mouth. So she won me over really quickly, and I think in season 1, she was or in her first season, she was originally scouted to be a main cast member, but her husband wouldn't allow her to film with the children. So obviously, for someone first coming on there, not being able to see the home life, that doesn't bode well. Well, she ended up being a really big hit with the fans, and I think Bravo was kind of like, okay, let's see how she does in the mix. And apparently, from the trailer, she's already starting shit. She started shit last year.
Yeah.
She's starting shit with Erika this year, so Bravo was like, all right, let's. And I think she's one of the only, if not the only, friend of the show to get promoted to a full-time cast member from
Yeah.
an initial friend standpoint. So she's put in the work. Good for her.
Well, I want to start with Erika Jayne. Obviously, Erika Jayne has been around for a while. Just because from the trailer, from the promo, this seems to be her season, and I hope it's not just all about just her situation. Because we saw, if you follow the show, anything Bravo, you know what happened her and her husband, and so the promo was like obviously saying that like what's the truth, what's a lie. Of course, the issue with her and Sutton comes from Sutton, and it seems like all the other ladies kind of being like whatever. But this last year it was the same type of situation, but with Denise, and so I hope that they really dig into Erika like they did Denise, because they really dug into Denise, like about the situation, whether it's about another woman or husband or money. Like Erika should not have any grace, in my opinion. And I'm not saying it because it's Erika, but I just feel like they drew it out. But in this season, Erika Jayne, as of right now, the situation hasn't happened with her husband. Right now, she's just talking about her and being having to be on antidepressants, and she basically has to stop working. And honestly, when she was talking about it, when she was like, oh, like I can't work, I'm like, what does she do? But then I was like, oh, she has like these little bookings and stuff like that, and I'm just like, you don't know the struggle, what it was like to not be working. Now I get you can't go outside, I get it. But girl, the way she was talking, you would have made it seem like she was working.
She was almost destitute.
Correct. And I'm like, Erika, now stop, girl, because I know some girls that still ain't went back to work. I'm just saying. So, stop. But I want your thoughts on that too.
Erika, I mean, I've always been a huge fan of Erika. Like, she gives us absolutely nothing, but is fabulous doing it. And I think she's really caught on, particularly with gay viewers, is because she really is almost like a living, breathing drag queen. She's over the top. She's always done to the nines. She's just like walking fabulosity, and she's like the human Barbie that gays like to think their fag heads are. But at the end of it, she's never like, it's nothing. You get absolutely nothing from her.
Very dry.
And it worked really well for her first 2 or 3 seasons, but I think the last 2 seasons, people are like, okay, sis, you've given us, you're boring. You're doing absolutely nothing. What do you got? And the tide is really turning. So when this came out about her husband and the marriage situation, that was just blood in the water. I've seen on social media, I'm sure you have, people have turned on her bad. And it's I really do think, I mean, the one thing housewives cannot stand is when their friends don't tell them a secret first. And that's how it was with Denise. Lisa and Kyle were on it. Well, what's the truth? What's the truth? What's the truth? They just cannot stand for them not to know what's going on. And I think this situation is it. I think Lisa and Dorit and Kyle will probably not go as hard on her because that's their homegirl. That's
I don't think it's because they're homegirl. I think they're not afraid of her, but they tend to tread a little bit with Erika. I feel like they've always...
Well, they need an alliance as well.
Well, that's it.
They need the backing of all 4 of them. But I think Sutton, I mean, obviously we've seen it. Sutton's going to go in and ask the questions. And
even maybe Garcelle. It seems like Garcelle is kind of like, so...
I mean, we saw in the trailer as well. She asked Erika, like, "What did you know about this? Like, what happened? How did you file for divorce as a way to get in front of this?" So I think those 2 are going to probably hold her feet to the fire a little bit, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to be like a Denise situation at all. They're not going to do that to Erika.
I hope it's not drawn out. It's too long. I know the pandemic was going on. There wasn't a lot going on, but I'm sure there's more to talk about. I do want to talk about Garcelle though, because this is Garcelle's second season, and I don't really feel like Garcelle honestly gave me much last season. Like I questioned how they gave her the peach over Sutton, even I know knowing about her, Sutton's privacy issues, the kids, the husband, stuff like that. But this season, it seems like she's bringing it. This season, she is actually in like the drama a little bit. She in this, obviously she is like kind of sticking it to, well, trying to stick it to Lisa. Now, she tried to meet with Lisa. She wanted to, I guess, confront her, but it seems like Lisa was already kind of like, oh, girl, I'm finna beat you to it because I'm not finna, you know, like she said, like, she didn't get a word out. Before she could even sit down, she was already saying, oh, and this is like, my thing is, I wonder, like, did she get a heads up? Like, at what point did she decide, I'm just going to lay it out and take, you know, ownership of this before she comes to me about it? It just seems a little like, who gave her this information already? Because if it really was a true sit down, then she would have just came to sit down and she would have been blindsided. You know, Lisa with her little, you know how she is with her lips, child. That's what I feel like we would have got. But she was so like quick to where Garcelle, it almost made the scene pointless because she didn't really have a moment to even like do what she came to do.
I mean, this is Lisa's MO though. Every single time she starts some shit with somebody, she knows she's in the wrong. And I mean, Garcelle and her haven't seen or spoken to each other, so she knew this being the first time her and Garcelle have seen each other, Garcelle's probably going to say something. And Lisa's not dumb. Lisa's been in this business, what, 30 years? She knows that in order to keep favor with viewers, there has to be a redemption arc. You can't always be the villain. You got to show at least a little bit of remorse. So she's got to come out there in her first scene. It's got to be, let me rebuild this trust and blah, blah, blah. But Lisa Rinna is going to do what Lisa Rinna does, and she's going to continue pissing people off. That's why she's lasted this long. She's an instigator. But she's really good at, like you said, before anybody can get too mad at her, she's very good at owning it, like she says, and apologizing and getting the jump on them.
It was, I don't know. I was looking forward to it,
and I felt like tear into her,
and I feel like she should have, but she really, if she would have after that, it was kind of, it just made the whole scene pointless to me because it's like she had already kind of like said what she felt and how she felt and took ownership to where if Garcelle had win it, it would have gave her being such of a bully unless she was just like no, because I mean she really, you know, that was her only issue with her, and so if she's taking ownership, the only thing you really can do is, you know, okay, I'll take it and we'll move forward in a progressive way, which is basically what she did. It's basically what she told, who was it, Dorit? Who was she talking to about? Was it Erika?
Yeah, Doritos.
Dorit, because Dorit was talking about her situation, which I thought her situation was a lot deeper because she basically includes that woman and her husband doing cocaine in the bathroom.
Doing cocaine.
So I thought that was a lot, that was a bit more intense, honestly, than, you know, someone coming at her friend, but I didn't understand the dynamic of the friendship because she made it seem like she was closer to Garcelle, but I feel like she was definitely closer to Denise. Did you kind of were you confused by that? It's like she was kind of downplaying Denise's friendship.
Garcelle. Yeah, she was. Garcelle said you've known Denise longer. Would you do that to me? She goes, no, technically I've known you longer. Which
and I was like,
okay, maybe we were introduced, but that doesn't mean we were friends. But you know,
but that's not how I played out last season, though. Last season, it gave, like, you know, Lisa and Garcelle were new, exactly, like they were new acquaintances becoming more friends. So it was weird that she tried to, you know, downplay that friendship. But I guess it worked. And
Lisa's very good at words. Like,
I like Lisa, by the way. I've always been a fan of Lisa. Yeah.
Lisa's smart. Lisa knows how to play the game, and she's not stupid. And you could tell that Garcelle was kind of like, well, shit. And just like you said, if I keep harping on this, I'm going to look like a bully. And,
that's true.
You know,
at least in this moment.
Some of the other ladies, some of the other ladies could get away with that. The only Black cast member can't get away with looking like she's going too hard on anybody.
That's true. That's true. Well,
she played it smart.
So, okay, moving into the next topic, Garcelle and Kyle. Now, at the reunion last year, I found this to be a little crazy because she, and I was like talking to my boyfriend about this, about like how, you know, she accused, because I didn't see the preview obviously for the next episode until the end, but basically it came from the reunion where she basically accused her of not paying some kind of charity fee or fund or whatever it was, and so, you know, Garcelle was just like, girl, you don't like, she was like, don't do that, like, you better watch it. And so, what do you think about Kyle and Garcelle? My quick thoughts on it is that I don't think Kyle would do that to anybody else. But I think when it comes to accusations as it relates to money, that's just a subject you just don't really want to go with a person. Because it puts a bad name on a person, especially in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
public eye or not, I just feel like you want to stay away from that. And I feel like when Kyle did that, especially at the reunion, a platform, a time where it's usually okay to throw out stuff like that, it was just kind of like bad timing, I feel. If she felt that way, I feel like she could have brought that to Garcelle a different time. But she didn't. And so you got this black woman out here looking like she ain't paying for a charity, you know, on this white platform. I'm just saying. But go ahead.
Yeah. I think it's very, and I agree with you. I don't think she would have done that to anybody else, because over the past seasons, she's been extremely tight-lipped when Dorit's been accused of owing tens of thousands of dollars, right, and her husband were getting sued. She was tight-lipped about that. She was tight-lipped about people throwing lawsuits at Vanderpump for lost wages and trying to get them back. She was tight-lipped about her husband being sued. So, like, money to these women, they can keep very few secrets, but that shit they keep close, because probably all of them have had legal troubles or something in the past in regards to money. So Kyle, to throw that out there, I know Garcelle was pissed, and it was very random, because in the context of the argument they were having, it didn't have any bearing on what they were. Garcelle was saying, well, like, you were the least welcoming. I invited you to my charity event, and you owe me $10,000.
Right. Right.
Okay.
It came out of nowhere. It's just like, are you trying to like have a moment for the?
And that's what it really felt like. It felt like she was like, "Oh, I've been here 11 years. I'm the fan favorite. I'm gonna show you and put you in your place." And I think, I mean, I'm not a Kyle fan. I never have been a Kyle fan. That woman is insufferable to me, so I do not understand her appeal. But I think that what we're going to see, as we get more inclusion of people of color and other minorities, you're really going to see some of these women, probably they may know minorities, but they don't interact with them on a daily basis. Because you and I know the subtext of accusing somebody of, particularly when they're a black or brown person, accusing somebody of owing somebody money. We know all the subtext that goes around with that. So we know it's like, well, I'm not going to throw that jab at somebody, because that's just underhanded.
Yeah, when you accuse somebody of not paying a bill or not doing something, there is no way you can come back and say, "Oh, I didn't mean any harm from it." You knew what you were doing.
Yeah,
and so
you knew what you were doing.
There's no way, even whether she, person of color or not, she knew what she was doing, especially in the conversation.
And she did it purposely.
Right, and so that's right, exactly, and that's why in the preview of this next episode, when she asked, "Would you have done it to any other white women?" I actually laughed, because I'm
gagged. I laughed. I said, "Good, do it. Ask her that. Hold her feet," because Kyle won't know how to respond. Just stuttering and shit, like, oh.
And that's
and that's that they've made up, but
yeah, like I know. It's just that that's my only issue and kind of fear when it comes to. I think I was talking to somebody on, I think, Real Housewives of Atlanta panel for the league. We were talking about having, somebody said they wanted a new white member on the cast for Atlanta. And so I said, no. I said, I think the black cast should stay black. I said, I don't mind seeing, a black individual join the white cast. But even then, it's touchy, because sometimes it plays into the issues that arise, just like now, because we're just different as it relates to culture and race. So someone else, a person of color, may not take that as the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just a difference. And so that's why, like, I think that it's always a little iffy with these, different casts and how they. And I do love to see the inclusion. Obviously, New York has a person of color now. I think there's another. What show is this that's coming out? I think
Dallas. I think Dallas added Tiffany.
Right. Yeah. So which has already been a
whole mess.
It has been. So I like to see it, but it's just very touchy. I feel like they just add one. They should probably add two, because it looks very, shaky sometimes in arguments like this, and that's why I'm glad that especially in this moment of last year in Black Lives Matter, how it's really intensified. I'm curious to see what Kyle's going to say to come back from it, because it's a valid question, very valid question, and we know they made up, obviously.
Absolutely.
But I want to hear if she responds. You see that we talked about the trailer, Sutton and what's her name?
Crystal
Crystal
get into
have
it.
get into it about seeing color, and so I'm curious now because I mean she's Asian, and then is she Asian? She's Asian, right? Make sure you can.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
Asian.
Chinese.
Right, Chinese. So I like that's gonna be a touchy subject, and depending on what Crystal says, could really hurt Sutton. You know what I'm saying, and how she responds, because it's just an uncomfortable thing, I feel like. But as far as Garcelle and Kyle, I'm just ready to see what happens. We know they make up, but I'm glad that Garcelle is finally getting involved. She's more verbal. She's not just there, and I feel like she was there last season. Now she's talking more. I do want to say I did not like her little not confessional look. The little promo look when they like smiling and stuff like that. When they look like red.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that.
I liked it. I thought it was a lot. There was a lot going on. It was a lot of different things. It was like a formal gown up top, and then a mini skirt, and then it's a beautiful
which
color
one?
on her.
Are you talking about the same thing, like the little promo
the
picture?
Intro, this look right here. That red
no.
Okay.
So when they show every scene, when they show their name and they kind of like flash in.
Oh yeah, she turned around. I don't remember what she was wearing.
She had it was like a dress like white with like red roses or watermelons or something on it. I don't know what it was. I didn't like it. Both me and my boyfriend said, "What she got on?"
Look, Garcelle last season and this season didn't always get it right when it came to fashion.
She's getting better.
Right. Sometimes, because that little Chanel number or whatever that she wore, I was like, "Oh, sis, this is."
In the confessional with the high pony or whatever it was, I was just like, child, she'll get it. Maybe season 3 or maybe later on, but ooh, child.
She looks good. I love that, like you said, she's stepping up. She's showing more personality. Yeah. I love her friendship with Sutton. I don't know why the two of them together just like they send me over the moon.
Well, it's good.
And they seem to really, really ride for each other too. Like Sutton has her back on a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I hope that doesn't change. Whatever, I know that Crystal and Sutton have their little thing coming up, and I hope that however Sutton responds to that is not in a way that's going to seem tone deaf or seem dismissive, as some of these white ladies can be whenever confronted with something that is out of their comfort zone. So I hope that doesn't happen.
Okay. What do you think about Sutton renting Kyle's home?
I didn't see that coming.
And do you think that's how she was able to get a diamond? Because we didn't see her home really last season at all, right? I don't think we did. We saw her business or whatever.
We saw every place she shopped. We saw her business.
We did not see her home. I don't think
we saw her house.
Did we really?
I thought maybe because if I remember correctly, at the end of last season, season, she was saying that she was going to sell her house, I think, or they were looking to move into something else. I think I'm gonna have to go back.
Well, now she's staying with Kyle, and she's paying $20,000 a month. She said
Kyle gave her a $5,000 discount.
Okay.
Girl,
I hope she paying her, because if she ain't, I bet at the reunion she gonna say, "Well, son, you missed the payment." I'm just saying.
It's Kyle again. Kyle just showed how insufferable she is. She walked in there. Ooh, my house. Let me see this. Let me see my bedroom. Like, girl.
Right.
Get out of my house.
You're right. Get out of my
fucking house. Get out of my fucking house.
What you think of the decor? Do you have any thoughts on the decor in the house? I thought it was okay. It was very granny. It's kind of granny.
Sutton reminds me a lot of Mary Crosby. They're kooky.
That's very
They kind of have their own sense of style, and they love it. It works for them. It wouldn't work for anybody else. I think Sutton's personality, it's like I wouldn't expect anything less from her. She's so eccentric that it works. So good for her.
What about Crystal? New girl Crystal. They went to her home. And I think based off of her home, I think her home is where the scene happens where Sutton's like, "Your ugly leather pants." It looks like the same backyard. But they met her and her husband. I think her husband works did the Lion King.
He's a director.
He was a director for Lion King.
The original Lion King.
Stuff around.
Yeah.
And I like how what's her name? Lisa was talking about name dropping. I think name dropping, especially living in LA, it's kind of like it's a no. It's a people kind of frown upon it, and I'm not in the industry at all. But I cannot stand when somebody is telling me who they've worked with and stuff like that. You know, as it relates to if it doesn't warrant the conversation. You know, and so. But in this moment, I think it was appropriate because, I mean, the Lion King is pretty big. It's not like he was just bragging, but she was just letting it be known because, obviously, she has to show where, you know, her wealth comes from. It ain't just her being ugly in the pants. It's from her husband, who worked on one of the biggest, you know, kid movies of a lifetime. So,
history.
Yeah, right.
I think she's absolutely gorgeous. Like, the woman is stunning. And I mean, I don't know if you noticed it, but compared to the other women, she was very demure, very understated, didn't have tons of makeup on, wasn't super glammed up, and absolutely.
Well, she said
I think
that.
she even mentioned it. She was like, I feel underdressed. And
she
I love
said,
that.
I'm gonna tell you what she said. She said she felt that she was conservative and they were very loud. Yeah. That's what she said.
That's the shade. That's the shade that I liked, where she was talking with Lisa Rinna about that outfit. And Lisa was like, "Oh, you can borrow it," and she was like,
"Yeah." She was like, "Yeah, like yeah, you can borrow it." And she was just like, "I'm good in my black, honey. I don't want to be looking like Jennifer Lopez,
Beetlejuice, fucking Beetlejuice,
or that."
Crystal, I think I need to see because she came off, and it could just be her being a little maybe. Obviously being introduced for the first time, but she came off a little almost like high and mighty, maybe a little
I agree. I agree.
Turn her nose up a little bit.
It gave me how Teddy came in initially, to where, like, my thing is, you're new to the show, you know who these bitches are, you have seen this show, so don't come on the show and act like, oh, these girls are so, you know, and of course production asks these questions, you know what I'm saying, to get them to say messy things and stuff like that. I get it, but you knew, everybody knows these girls, especially Erika and recently Lisa, Dorit, they dress very loudly. Obviously, even what's her name, Garcelle, knew her. She came in her pink. And so I'm just like, you know, girl, don't play. So eventually, maybe towards the end of the season, maybe we won't, child. I always find Asian Chinese to be very nice. They dress very nicely. And so I would have loved her to have been that type of Asian that I love to see. You know, if I'm like walking through New York and you see this one Asian who's like dressed from head to toe, but it's like effortless. That's what I have like to say. So I think she'll get there. But right now it seems like she's more of a black, conservative, gray. She's not really a bright girl. Just based off of that outfit and then like future pictures and scenes we've seen.
But I bet you there's nothing conservative about them labels.
Oh, of course not. No. I definitely think she's a label girl.
Now that coin is long. That coin is long.
Of course.
I want to see her and Kathy's friendship a little bit because she's known Kathy longer than anybody. She just barely met Kyle.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to see her and Kathy, which Kathy to me was nothing like I thought Kathy was going to be. I thought Kathy was going to be
first of all,
like
Kathy had just got
England. Kathy.
She had just got a nice little facelift, baby. She was just there. I actually thought that she would look so much older. Obviously, she got the facelift, but she was actually a pleasant spirit. I will say she was kind of enjoyable.
She reminds me a lot of Kim. She's very kooky, like Kim, very kind of out there.
She's
Richards,
a little spacey. She's a little spacey.
Very spacey. Very spacey. When she asked Garcelle, I thought that was Kyle.
When she said, now, but you know what? I was like, now wait a minute, Kathy. She don't look nothing like no damn Kyle.
Kathy.
Like somebody said. I mean, yeah, Kathy. I'm like she just said, the person that your sister says she is having an issue with. You think that's her? It didn't make sense to me. But I'm gonna like seeing her around, and like according to the blog, I think they're saying that she is quite enjoyable to see around. She's gonna be a good friend in the show. Yeah. I don't know how involved she is in the mess, but it'll be good to see.
I liked her a lot. I think we need another just like random kooky person to like be almost the comedic relief and not take stuff too seriously. And I think that probably fits her personality very, very well. So I'm excited to see. I was hoping that she'd drag Kyle at some point because, you know, I love anytime Kyle gets put in her place. So we'll see. Oh, I saw an interview where Kyle said it helped their relationship. They became closer. So fuck. I thought it would have destroyed it.
Damn.
You know I hate Kyle.
Who do you think was best dressed so Dorit called it a barbecue. Now I was just like, now wait a minute.
They love throwing that barbecue word around.
I like how what's her name said she did throw a little shade. Erika was like something about going to Dorit's house, Dorit's house in Encino. If you know LA, Encino is like a part of the valley. It's actually not too far from like where I live, but it is very expensive. But I thought Dorit lived in like Beverly Hills, but she lives in Encino, she lives further out. But she said something about like going to her house in Encino to barbecue. She also threw shade. It was like these girls know nothing about a barbecue, and I was just like, this is definitely probably. First of all, where's the grill? Where's the grill?
At all. They've had a barbecue every year for the past 4 seasons, and it's never a barbecue.
But Dorit's the wrong person to have one.
Fucking kolaches. She brought kolaches at least.
Yeah, but yeah, where was the smoke? The smoked hot dogs and the smoked turkey. That's
where
a barbecue.
Where the brisket at? Like nothing.
The brisket, I mean, all that. I don't even eat none of that no more. But still, where is it at?
So the best dressed.
Oh yeah.
I actually really liked. I liked what what's her name was wearing, Erika. Because I mean, if Erika don't do anything else, she's going to show up in a good garment. And Dorit, I like Dorit.
I like
Lisa
Dorit.
Rinna,
I like how.
What the hell, Lisa?
Lisa looked fine, but she just was so damn bright. And the same with Garcelle.
It's the middle of summer, sis.
Yeah, I didn't get, but the Garcelle, she had on the pink suit. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know. Whatever. I thought Dorit was the most was cute. I think she looked to me like the more pleasing to the eye. I like that her kids was like, your boobies are out.
That little kid said, I don't like that outfit.
He said he did not like it, and the daughter was just like, your boobies are. I see your boobies. I'm like, how does her daughter know what boobies are already? Child, PK is teaching them kids a lot at a very young age.
I mean, the kids look 15 already. They grew the hell up between last season and this season. They're not tall as hell.
They actually have.
I actually really enjoy seeing Dorit as a mom. Like, so those little interactions that she has with the babies, like, I'm like, okay. Because she can come across very, like, unbothered and rich lady and super self-centered.
Like she doesn't spend time with her kids.
Put on for cameras or what. Yeah. And I mean, she may have help, but I really like that she kind of praised the kids when they were, when they were learning in school, and she showed them what the kids made or what the kids colored or whatever, and she was like praising her kids. I was like, well, that's good. Like, that's awesome, because the kids are probably looking like mom's gone for X amount of days, and she's this and she's this. So that's really good that she spent, she's got some time. I like seeing these women with their kids anyway. I think that's an insight to who they really, really are off the show, probably.
I agree. That's pretty much, my last question for you for this too. So I know that it seems like when at the barbecue, Garcelle was talking, and she was just kind of like talking about, you know, how she feels about Kyle. Do you think that she should still be upset with her at this time? Because obviously this is, when was this? They did their reunion last year, I think in like June or July. You know, LA started filming, I don't know when. They filmed for a very long time because they kept getting cut off. Some of them caught COVID.
Because people kept getting COVID. Yeah.
It was both. It was a bit of both. They got cut off because LA, you know, we kept closing a lot of times. So we closed, open many times. We've probably been the least open city in the States. And so between that and then them catching COVID, they cut off many times. But do you think that she should still, at this moment, be upset with Kyle? Obviously knowing they make up at some point, but do you think that, you know, she should still be upset?
I mean, what's that old saying? Let the apology be as loud as the disrespect. Like, you disrespected me on camera, in front of my co-stars, in front of the world. So if you're that loud and that brave to say it, like, I need you to also tell me that you were dead ass wrong for saying that and apologize to me. Don't leave it to me in a text message. Don't call me personally and say I'm sorry. I need you to be as loud with that as you were with the initial thing. So yeah. And I mean, obviously they've probably already hashed it out, and producers are in their ears saying, okay, we need you to at least bring this up so we can get a resolution on camera. I don't think Garcelle is upset or mad. She probably, I mean, Kyle keeps doing things to piss that woman off. Garcelle done unfollowed that lady on Facebook, Instagram. So, I mean, Garcelle can do whatever she needs to do. She got disrespected on national TV. She got accused of running out on a bill.
Basically,
I'd be mad.
A big bill.
A charity bill. Not just
a charity bill, right?
Like,
a charity bill.
You
exactly.
said I go to charities and I don't pay my bill at charities. Like, yeah, I'd be upset. But it doesn't look like she's making a big deal about it. It doesn't look like she's going over the top and dragging. She's just bringing it up.
Yeah,
like,
she's not boloing it, child.
Oh God, I hope not. I can't do another 10 episodes of that. I cannot.
I don't think we'll. I think that'll probably be dropped probably after next week. It'll probably go away.
Yeah.
After
we got Erika coming up.
Erika's coming up, and it's probably gonna be her Erika Gate for like maybe 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I think that was pretty much all for the premiere. I thought it was a solid premiere. I thought that it wasn't like as eventful, but as a premiere, it definitely set up some room for things to happen, which we already know. So based off of the trailer and the season trailer, it should be a good season. It should not be dreadful like the last one. And you have any final thoughts on the episode?
I want the number to Kyle Surgeon because that was a good nose job. That was a good ass nose job.
I didn't understand why she was in the bed. I'm like, why are you in the bed?
That's what I'm saying. Making people get up in the bed. I was like, you can walk around when you have a nose job, right? Like,
right.
They send you home the next day. Like, you're gonna be okay.
Yes. She lives in Beverly Hills, and I know it probably whether she got it in Beverly Hills or not, she is probably was very expensive. So, if you want her number, you're ready to pay some money. And I wouldn't go to her surgeon because she'll probably say that you walked out on that bill too.
Okay, look, I'll walk out on the bill. I don't give a shit. What are you gonna do? Take the nose back? I like that Dorit kind of shaded Kyle a little bit when Kyle was late for the barbecue. About is she late because she was getting in glam? Because Kyle would not let that fucking go for 6 episodes last year.
Oh yeah, I like that they showed that too about the whole when she was the fitness thing,
Glamgate or whatever. Yep. I was like, anytime Kyle can just get dragged for being a hypocrite, like I'm all for it. I love it. I think it's going to be a solid season. I'm interested, like you said, to see more Kathy. I'm interested to see some group dynamics. And I really hope that conversations, like, I don't want this to drag. And I know we've seen topics drag on through COVID because there's not really a whole lot that could have been done the last year. Like, particularly there in LA, like you said, y'all were closed. So, I mean, I hope that it's not 15 episodes of Erika talking about this divorce because, I mean, I already read all about it in the damn papers. Like, I'm good. But I hope they can space it out. And Bravo always tends to really treat Beverly Hills with, like, utmost, like, favorite, like, editing and budgetary and storylines. Like, Bravo loves Beverly Hills. Like, that's their darling. So I think this season will probably be a good season.
Yeah, I think Andy loves Beverly Hills. And because he loves Beverly Hills, they get a little bit more than some of the. I do think that, and they also have a lot of money. I'm not saying the others don't, but they have a lot of money, and I think that also help. That also helps them, because they get checks, but they have a lot of money outside of the checks. So,
yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be mess. I can't wait for the mess.
Yeah, and we're gonna be here talking about it, of course. Chad, yourself, and Danny will be rotating out. Sometimes we'll have full panel discussions as well. But it's going to be a good season. So we are definitely going to lean out because, like I said, I'm in Hawaii and I need to get to dinner within an hour.
Okay.
But I'm glad we were able to lean in and talk about this.
I am in Texas and I'm going to go to bed.
Oh, not Texas. It's late. What time is it there? It's 11:46.
It's 11:45.
It is 6:47 p.m. So
girl, fuck you.
Yeah.
In Hawaii, girl, fuck you.
Yeah.
You just got back from PV.
I took a little tour / little vacation I started a new position
can't even
Monday,
be
so I
mad.
have to get it out of my system before I start this position.
Congratulations.
So yeah, thank you. So yes, that's why I'm here, but I will be gone Saturday, and I'll be back because I'm actually tired.
Well, make sure you pay all your bills there, sis.
Ooh, okay.
Every last one of them. Pay your bills.
Okay, well, you can find myself on Instagram at Stupid Wild Test. You can find Jamie at It's Jamie, Not Jamie 83. And until then, we're going to lean out, and we will talk to you guys later. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and like all things Lean. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 2. Good night.